we recording? Oh, there we go. Hello, friends. I'm back. If you don't already know who I am, I'm Kenzie. It's been a really long time since I've filmed anything other than a van tour. I have a lot of months of things to fill you guys in on. The last video I posted was a van tour of our van that we built a couple years ago. It has sold. I've continued to get messages about it, but that van is sold. But in that video, I mentioned to you guys, or I promised you guys, an update video. So that's what today is. I am well aware that there's probably plenty of people who do not care what I've been doing for the last 5 months. So what I'm going to start with is telling you guys what I'm doing now, and then I'm going to backtrack and explain what in the world has happened over the last 6 months now? Honestly, I think it's been 6 months where we've been completely kind of MIA from YouTube, besides a total of 2 van tours that we posted in the last 6 months. I'm sure that a lot of you are probably immediately wondering, where in the world am I? Whose van is this? Where is Joseph? I'm gonna answer those questions for you. Here's what's going on right now. I am in San Diego. I have set up shop for the next 4 to 5 months. I am going to be building this van right here. This is going to be for a client in addition to building this van. I'm also going to be building my van, which I'm so excited about. I'm not gonna be getting it for probably 2 to 3 weeks, but I will certainly show you guys when I do. And I can already imagine all of the questions that are popping up in your brains because I said my van, not our van. It's a whole story. So while I'm here for the next 4 to 5 months building these 2 vans, Joey is in Arizona and he is building another client van there. So we are still very much doing custom builds because I've gotten questions about that as well. So if you're not aware, our van conversion company is called Superstition Customs, and there is a jet outside that you're probably hearing. So that in a nutshell is what's going on. I'm here building, Joey's in Arizona building. And now, friends, let's get into the fun part, which is where in the world have we been for the last 6 months? So we finished our last client build in December, right before Christmas. And then we decided to take several months off and travel Baja. So that's where we were for the beginning part of this year. We spent most of January getting ready to do our Baja trip and just kind of taking a breather after a very intense few months of building that van. And then we made our way down to Baja at the beginning of February. So Joey was with me. We traveled together for the first month, went all the way down to the tip of the peninsula. He actually flew out of Cabo to go on a vacation with his family. I spent the next, I think, another 2 months, so from March to May, in Baja. I was traveling with a friend, and so we spent a lot of time in Baja Sur, and then we slowly made our way back up. Guys, I had to get towed back from Mexico. I made it about 5 hours south of the border, and then the van had some serious problems, and it got bad enough where I could not really drive it. So wow, it was quite the adventure. That's like a whole nother story in itself that I may never tell because I just feel like it was so long ago now. But anyway, I had to get towed back from the border and then got back here to San Diego, spent another month in San Diego, and a good portion of that was because our van was getting a new engine. I ended up spending a lot more time than I had anticipated traveling around in the van sort of by myself. I had thought that I was gonna go back to Arizona like a month sooner than I actually did. But, oh well, there were a number of reasons that happened. And honestly, I don't want to take 20 minutes of this video explaining it all. The van is sold. We are on to our next projects. We're moving on. Life is good. Now, here is the question that you're probably all here for. Did Joey and I break up? So, yes, but I also don't really like using that term because it did not at all feel like a typical breakup. So let me explain a little bit. I'm not going to get too far into this. It was a 100% mutual decision that we both knew was the best for the both of us. We are still super close. We're great friends. And we are still running a business together essentially. But as you can probably tell, our business model has changed a little bit. So yes, we're still doing custom builds. So Joey has his build that he's working on. I'm going to be working on this one as well as my own. And we still collaborate on every aspect of it. It's just that the actual doing part of it, we're keeping kind of separate. And that works really well for us. And yeah, we're still very much a part of each other's lives. But that does mean that I'm going to be mostly taking over this YouTube channel. I did the same thing on our Instagram a while back. So if you guys do follow me on Instagram, then you probably know all of this already. I just hadn't made a YouTube video about it. So name change will be coming soon because obviously Kenzie and Joey doesn't really make sense anymore if it's just me. But here's the exciting part. I'm going to be doing a weekly build series for the next several months while I'm working on these next 2 vans. So you guys will get to see that. This also doesn't mean that you guys will never see Joey again because he's still very much a part of my life and we definitely will still see each other. And you guys can also go and follow him on Instagram, which he never posts on, but maybe if you just nudge him a little bit, maybe we can make him post on Instagram more often. I would also encourage you guys to go follow our Instagram for our van conversion company, which is called Superstition Customs. I will leave the username here and a link in the description so that you guys can find that. I feel like that covered most of the important updates without going down any of those rabbit holes too far. What's important is what we're doing now, which is really exciting. And I guess I just want to say that I don't want anybody to be sad that we broke up because I want you all to know that we are happy and 100% good. There is zero animosity towards each other, and we're so young, guys. Like, you know, if you've been an OG subscriber, that we built our van and moved into it together when we were 19, and people change, and that's fine. We both grew up and just felt like we were starting to go in separate directions. Totally A-okay. It was the most oddly healthy breakup I think I've ever witnessed or been a part of, so it's been a pleasure. So anyway, now you guys are stuck with me and my shenanigans, and there's going to be a ton of hopefully helpful van content coming your way. Also, I'm going to give you guys a little insider tip that I wasn't going to announce, but here we go anyway. I am going to be documenting the whole process of these builds and actually compiling it into a comprehensive van build guide. So that's something to look forward to in future months. It's not something I'll have time to work on while I'm actually doing them, but I've gotten questions in the past if I would ever do something like that, and so the answer is yes, I'm actually going to be working on something like that. The content that I'm going to be putting out here for the weekly build series will likely be less step-by-step. It will certainly still be informational and hopefully helpful, but here's the thing. I want to have fun with it. I want to enjoy making videos again because for a while we didn't, and that's why we weren't putting videos out. Just being completely honest with you guys. So to make it work for me, I have to make it fun for me. And the step-by-step, really detailed informational stuff is going to be in that guide. The videos are intended to be something fun and informational for you guys to follow along with. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So that's all I have to say about that. I want to give you guys a shop tour. Now, I'm still kind of working on setting things up. I only got into this space 4 or 5 days ago. So I've been building workbenches and building sawhorses and building all kinds of stuff to get my space all set up the way that I want it. So just keep in mind that it's not really perfect yet. But I would love to show you guys around anyway so that you can see where I am working for the next 4 months. I forgot one very important thing. We still have some availability on our schedule for the remainder of the year. So we have one spot for a custom build open in October and potentially a spot sooner than that, to be determined. But if you guys are interested in having us do a custom build for you, I am gonna leave that link down in the description as well. You guys can fill out a form, get in contact with me, and we can discuss potentially doing a build for you and filling that spot. So just an FYI. So this is from the front of the shop. I've been getting deliveries today like nobody's business. I think I've gotten like 6 different deliveries already. So to the right, we have a little office in here. And then this is where the vans will go. So this is my client's van. I don't have my van yet, but when I do, it'll get pulled in right behind this one. And then we have my workspace over here, which I'm still working on a little bit, getting perfectly set up. But I built this workbench the other day for myself, set up a pegboard, a whiteboard, try to keep myself organized. Just have loads of storage down here, and then a place to work on some stuff up here. And then windows. And I built myself another little workbench just so that the miter saw had a place to sit. Built myself all these sawhorses the other day. Guys, I've been building stuff like crazy just to get the shop all set up. Utility sink. This is the bathroom. And the rest of this is just space for working. We've got a rough layout taped out already. So we're going to do kitchen in the doorway. This is going to have a bathroom. It's a little tight to make it work in a 144, but it's doable. So we're doing it. And then we're going to have a closet, a full closet here. And then this is going to be a U-bench seating that'll turn into a bed area. So I did start working on this van a little bit off camera. I got all the sound deadening done. As you guys can see behind me, I've got all this kill mat laid down. I did leave some space like here and then on the other side here because we're going to do half slider windows there. So I wanted to get those installed and then I can go back and put some more sound deadening around them, but I wanted to get them in first. I also pulled up this subfloor and did kill mat under the whole thing before I laid it back down. And then the only other thing that I've done in here is laid some furring strips on the ribbing of the roof. And I just got insulation and I just got stuff to get started on wiring. So that's kind of my next steps. You guys have probably seen me do this stuff before. It's all the typical steps that you do at the beginning of a van build. But I'll show you guys anyway. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of van builds is that you get packages like pretty much every single day. And I love opening packages. So it's like Christmas for me every day. And half the time I forget what I even ordered. So it's like a fun little surprise. I don't understand boxes inside of boxes. I think that's it. I feel like that was a lot of boxes for not a lot of stuff, and I'm a little bit disappointed. I lied. I completely forgot a box. It still feels like there's nothing in here. What a waste of cardboard. Oh, here's the things I was expecting. Okay, so this is like a cable sleeve, which is what I'm going to be running all of the wire through, anywhere it goes through ribbing of the van, because you want to keep it like super protected from any of the metal it could rub up against. So now that I have this stuff, I can actually start running my wires, which I think I am going to do before insulation. Oh, it looks weird. It looks like
I love
lasagna noodles.
Lasagna.
It smells like a petting zoo. It smells like a petting zoo a lot.
Why do you use wool?
Because it's non-toxic. Good morning, guys. So I've gotten quite a bit of work done on the van the last couple of days off camera. Sometimes that just has to happen. I have to put the camera down and get done what I need to get done. I'm going to show you guys the progress that I've made the last few days. But first I have to drink my coffee. So just bear with me for a second. So yesterday, my brother and I made a run to a wood supplier. Also, I haven't addressed the other human with me here at the shop that you guys may have seen in the background. So my little brother came down with me to help me set up shop. He'll be here with me for a couple of weeks. My voice sounds like I just woke up. It's because I haven't finished my coffee yet. Anyway, so we got loaded up on plywood so that hopefully when it comes time to do that stuff, we have what we need. The rest of the time I've just been working on insulation, running all the wiring, and then I did start to put up some furring strips where I can. We're still waiting on one more window, which is hopefully coming today. We will see. Once we have that last window, we'll do all the window installation at once. And then I can finish up the furring and insulation, but I don't want to put too much in that area where the window's going because I don't know exactly where it's going to be placed yet. And I don't want to accidentally run something that's going to be in front of the window. So that stuff has to wait. I'm like 90% done with wiring, and the rest of it that has to get done is kind of waiting on other parts to get done so that I can route it correctly. So in the meantime, we may as well get started framing that shower, and then we'll kind of go back, finish the rest of the insulation, the rest of the wiring, and then the rest of the furring strips. So I think that this is the biggest package I've ever received. I've never gotten anything in like a crate before. So it's an exciting day. Merry Christmas, everybody. Grab the other one. You can unscrew the other part. I'm gonna have some extra screws after this. Free wood and free screws. Dun, 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 dun. Standing right in front of my camera. Okay.
I like how they just stuffed it in there. It does nothing.
So this is one of the windows for my van. We also have the vent fans for both of these vans, and then the refrigerators for both of the vans. I don't know why this is so exciting to me. I feel like special. Oh, they're not that heavy. Never mind, I got it. So I lost you guys yesterday. I promised I would show you guys the progress that I made so far, so I'm gonna do that. In the last day, I also did take it to the shop to get all the windows installed because I hate installing windows. I've done plenty of them and it's just not a fun process, especially not for one person. So that is something I decided to just go ahead and have done. It saves me the time anyway. So I'll show you guys the windows that we got installed and all the progress that I've made inside in the last week. From the outside, here's what they look like. We did a T-vent window on the sliding door, and then we have a little bunk slider window here. Also have a matching one on this side. And then when you come to the inside, you can see both of them there. So this will be her bench seating and bed area. So she'll have those windows and have a nice cross breeze there. I am about 90% done with, oh, that's a big step. That's a huge step. With insulation, sound deadening, furring strips, wiring, and then I've also started framing out the bathroom. So I say 90% done because I still need to go back here, finish up some sound deadening, and put the insulation down now that we have this window. I'll also have to run the furring strips on either side of the window so that there's something for the wall to attach to there. Wiring is almost complete. I have a couple things that will be running down here and through the bench area that I need to run. And then the bathroom is almost done. So I only need to do a few more horizontal supports in this section, but I'm actually going to wait until I have my foam backer board that's going up here so that I know where to place them, so that wherever there's a seam, the edge of the board has something to attach to. Here's what this T-vent window looks like from the inside, and then we got this little crank, oh, this way, and you can crank this out, and I don't know if you can tell, but there is a screen here. Another good way to get a nice little cross breeze. And then these back windows also open, and there is a screen here as well. So I'm kind of making a game plan for today as far as what I want to get accomplished. So now that we have these little bunk windows in, my plan is to finish up the sound deadening around them, lay the insulation around them, and then hopefully go ahead and put up the furring strips around them as well. I do also have everything I need to finish up the wiring, so I might do that today. And then we'll see where we're at after all of that, but I might actually install her vent fan today, which will go up there by the shower. If it doesn't happen today, it'll definitely happen tomorrow. I'm not going to bore you guys by making you watch me do all this sound deadening, insulation, all the same stuff that you've already been watching me doing. So I'm going to end things here for this week. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my intention is to put up a weekly video of progress on this van. We said we were going to do the same thing for the last build, and that never happened. But that's definitely more of a priority for me this time around because I know that a lot of people want to see the whole process, and I'm happy to share it, and hopefully it'll help some of you who are maybe working on your own builds. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you guys for watching. I know this one was kind of a whirlwind. Oh my god, I can't say it. Whirlwind. There we go. I've been working some very late nights and probably not getting enough sleep. Anyway, I know that I introduced you guys a lot of change from what we were previously doing. So I just want to say I appreciate your guys' support. Your guys' support. I really can't talk today. And hopefully you guys will follow along with this build, and then when I get my van, you guys can follow along with that build too, and you'll get to see 2 going at once, which is going to be absolutely insane, and I'm going to be totally overwhelmed and probably go a little bit crazy. But that's part of the adventure. It'll be fun. Alright guys, I'm going to stop rambling, and I'll see you next week.